All right. Good morning, everybody. I am here. This is how to host an anime panel. My name is RJ, aka Anthony Shonen. I've been doing these panels for quite a while right now, and today we're going to be talking about how to host an anime review. So, for those who don't know what an anime review is, so of course it's basically reviewing an anime. Oh yeah, tough crowd, So, but I understand that people have been wanting to do these anime reviews lately as of 2021, including some series I would not want to discuss. But the question is that how to host an anime review. Let's start with a few basics with the equipment and some stuff. Now, one of the common misconceptions about equipment is that people need like a fancy camera or sound systems and everything in between. But the reality is that at the moment, you pretty much need to use like the best smartphone you currently have, and that's pretty much like your big go-to with hosting an anime review. I've known people who learned it the hard way by spending thousands of dollars on cameras and audio equipment they never used, and probably at least once of some sort. So I've been begging them to at least get a decent smartphone and just start from there. And then when the time comes, you could start investing on like other equipment too, like a DSLR camera, better mics, like a Yetis, and a sound system of some sort. So does anybody like any recommendations of a smartphone that you probably prefer? Recommendations? So, like I said, for the smartphone, is that I would say maybe like the 2018 models at least would probably do the trick of some sort. So it could cover like most of the basic things, sounds and everything, all particular. And anybody have any questions about the equipment? Yes. Oh, sorry. So yeah, that's the thing about equipment. So I mean, like I said, oh yes.
I got a question more about audio quality because every time I record it tends to have a lot of static and stuff, and I'm trying to figure a way to make it not sound so shitty.
Yes. In some cases, if you're in the city, which is like the most dreadful part of the of recording stuff, you gotta get like these sound filters, like those cone things that you put in the walls or some sort.
I don't have that issue. I just have background
Yeah, sometimes you have to adjust the volume most of the time. Sometimes you have to adjust the volume, or you have to use that the pop filters of some sort. That's another thing to consider. I mean, I don't think it's that much for a pop filter, but it does the job.
Also, if you use Audacity and you like leave a little bit of hang time before you record, use noise reduction and then go over it, and then do get noise profile, and then drag it all across your whole recording, and then press noise removal, and it should do it, because doing the blank space, it'll get the sound profile of like the background noise of like your fan and stuff, and then it'll remove the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I did for a little bit. So it also might be the mic you're using, because if you're using a USB mic that like directly from your mic to USB, there's like a little bit of static. But yeah, doing the first thing, the noise removal, does it okay enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get to the dreadful part later on, and for the setup, how many of you guys are familiar with like setting up a PC? Do you guys just use mostly laptops or desktops and everything? It's like what's your equipment like?
I mostly just use my laptop.
Okay. Laptop, desktop. Yeah, I know most people like usually use a laptop of some sort, but like I said, if you can try to invest on a desktop of some sort, because sometimes laptops is that if you pick the low end model, chances are you won't be able to upgrade, and you'll pretty much be behind on the production process because it's a laptop. Desktop you could probably get away with it a little more, given how I know people who actually streamed was glad they were able to future-proof their desktop of some sort. So If you have any question on the desktop, that would be fine as well. Oh yeah, so setup, PC setups, and now we go to the fun part of the whole program, the anime review. Who's here is like familiar with different types of anime reviews of some sort? In other words, like different styles and everything. Yes.
I know that like, this is like back then. I know like, Bennett the Sage, he does like the kind of like old timey way of like going kind of like beat for beat. And then there's like Demo, if anyone's ever watched him, he does more of a summarization.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like other people, like for example, people that do manga reviews. Scamoli does a lot of manga reviews, and he does kind of again just a summarization and what he thinks of it. And so yeah, there's like a ton of ways. Just find the way you think is best for you.
Yes, back there. Did you have your hand up?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, like I said, the types of anime reviews, like I said before, is that certain types, including just reviewing mostly old school animes, and then there's the mangas, and then of course there's like the current line models. But the other types of anime reviews I'm referring to is like the angry reviewers of some sort, or just like a general review, like reviewing like things that came out in the weekend. Like that's the typical critic review of some sort. And then there's the angry reviewers that makes a whole Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of sketch because how ridiculous it is. And then of course there's like people like in between who just do it for casual of some sort, just to give their ideas in there. Yeah. You have a question? Okay. So that's the type of review. So anybody need to cover that part of the review? Anybody need help on that? Yes.
So I have a question, and like, what are some of the key points that should be in like a review? I know that's like various people have different things, but what are the most popular type of key points that you should put in?
Like sometimes they focus more on the technical stuff, like animation errors, dubbing errors, etc. Yeah, no thanks to Sailor Moon Dub or Escalfone. Boo. But sometimes in my view of some sort, I usually like focus on the ridiculous plot stories or the cliches that people could predict from miles away or some sort. That's usually my niche of some sort. And then, of course, is that the other reviews that people criticize about that has nothing to do with the show or the movie, but the behind the scenes. Like I've heard like the horror stories about how these animators aren't getting paid enough in Japan, and people are trying to support them in any other way because they get left out with the contract of some sort. So yeah, there's that type too.
Also, basically, whatever you think you're the best at talking about. If like you know a lot about art style, then talk about like how good the art style is, or like what you like about it mostly, if the colors are nice, or if you like character design, you can talk about like the character designs are really awesome because it's from this era of anime, or like, or you can like if you know a lot about voice actors, you can talk about voice actors. You can touch on the story, so yeah, just basically, whatever you feel you're best at, just talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the type of reviews you can consider and everything. So I was curious, is that what anime review would you like to hear this year? I was curious, like what do you want to hear about? Like anything, any shows like from 2021 or 2020.
I only watch anime reviews when I haven't watched the anime.
All right, we'll cover that later on, and then we'll figure something out. So as for the length of the specific part, is that sometimes like I've known people who thinks they could go all the way by doing at least like 30-minute reviews or an hour. Yeah, try not to do that. First of all, is that it's good. it's gonna break you. I know people who try to do that and they just flew off. And my recommendation is try to keep it like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. At least that's like the average span. So 5 to 10 minutes. And on a related note, scheduling of some sort. So yeah, I don't think anybody can do reviews every single day of some sort. It's not gonna happen. Your best bet is to try to, if you can focus at least one review a month, you could probably get away with it, and people will be happy. Like I've known people who think it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, I didn't do my review for every single week, so I have to keep it scheduled. Yeah, it put a strain on their lives. Believe me. I mean, I see it happen, and I don't want to see it happen again. Yes.
So with the length of video, do you like record maybe like 30 minutes, but you only use the 10 that like you make do like a couple takes of it, or is it you just do 10 and then you just
10 minutes overall, like editing or not. 10 minutes all editing or not. So yeah, we're gonna go to that dreadful part in a minute. So the dreadful part of the program is editing. How many of you guys have experience of editing whatsoever? Oh my God, you guys are so lucky or some sort. What editing software have you used?
Adobe Premiere, and I used to use Sony Vegas, but I got Adobe Premiere because I got the whole suite, so I just started using that.
And you?
Sony Vegas, actually.
Vegas? How about you?
DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah, and yeah, because one of the things I can't do is editing. That would kill me. Oh my God. It's like put me 5 minutes in the editing room, I will panic. But if you put me out there like maybe 2 hours in the scene of doing takes and double takes of some sort, I could tolerate it, but never for me in the editing room. Because if you have experience in editing, that I commend you for that, because geez, I just couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't do it. So now that we got most of the things out of the way, let's see. So what time we got? Oh, 10:21. Anybody have any questions? Anything that you want me to cover that I haven't? Yes.
What would your opinion be on an anime review with multiple people kind of reviewing the same thing, like having a group of people?
Yes, the collaboration stuff.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Immediately. So yeah, one of the things that happened a few years back is that they have collaborated with other reviewers. A lot of people always like to do that, but the problem is that if your personality does not resonate well with the other anime reviewer, you shouldn't do it. But if it's like most likely in your inner circles or your network of some sort, that could probably be a best fit. As for maybe for relatives of some sort, I wouldn't recommend it as much because, like I said, there's always that bragging rights of some sort. Because I see it happen with in the YouTube thing.
Also, if like you find someone in like your general world, I guess, if you review a mecha anime, you could like look for someone else that also does mecha anime near your general, I guess, experience level, and you could just like send them an email. A lot of the times they'll answer and they'll be like, yeah, sure, because I mean, come on, yeah, it's pretty sweet that you get to talk about, like, in this example, mecha anime with another dude. But yeah, like he was saying, if like y'all have two different personalities, then like I wouldn't, because it wouldn't mesh too well together, you know? Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Can I go back to types of review real quick?
What's up?
Back to types of review?
Oh, which one?
The types of review?
Oh yeah, the types. Yes. Okay.
So I watched this animes, they watch the first episode and kind of summarize that. Do you think there's still a market for that, or is it?
Oh,
oversaturated?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, because believe it or not, there are tons of anime reviews out there that hasn't really been reviewed yet, but not many people know about that. I've been trying to focus on anime reviews nobody seems to care about, and then I always discuss about that. And which, by the way, speaking of which, is that we'll discuss about the types of anime reviews of some sort. So like, what else would you like to know as well?
I guess it seems like the shift of like, the quote unquote top three has shifted a lot. And
Mm.
when you came into anime, your opinion gets kind of talked down to. So like if you came with Sailor Moon versus Death Note versus My Hero, it's like those generational discussions are so different. To kind of do a review, it's hard to kind of reach a mass audience when they only want to hear about My Hero Academia or Dragon Ball Z.
Well, yeah, that's a catch point. That's a catch 22 because, like I said, people wanted to discuss about the most popular topics out there. But like I said, whatever you're most comfortable with, that's what you should do. And of course, the audience is depends on what kind of audience you want.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say also, that it's okay if you wanna talk about older stuff, because literally, I always think of it like, if you like something, chances are, someone also like it too. So like, cause I talk about manga, and like, not a lot of people read like several magazines of manga, so like, oh, dude, nice. But if you wanted to talk about like, for example, like, I'm trying to think of like, yeah, like Berserk or something. Berserk has a very specific audience, and there are people that have entire channels purely about just Miura and Berserk, like the lore, the god hands. So like, if you even want to do something like that, you can totally do it, because there's always going to be an audience for a topic somewhere. It'll be slower, yes, but it'll be like, if that's something that you really like if you're really like, I'm really into Metal Gear, so if I was to make a channel just about Metal Gear, I know I would find the fans. But like, it's not super popular like Persona or something. So like, but go to those spaces where people talk about that type of thing, and just like try to hang out in them for a little bit, and then tell people like, hey, I also talk about this thing on YouTube, for example. Like, yeah, taking the mecha example, and just like just do that, and then it's a slow, gradual thing. But if that's something you really like doing, then yeah, it's a lot better, because if you try doing the things only the popular people will do, for one, you won't get as a lot of people watching them because the popular guys are already taking the topic. But like, so yeah, it's better to start out on those smaller things and then branch out to the bigger things, because you now have a name for yourself. You get what I mean? But yeah, totally.
So let me try a little experiment. So how many of you guys know Sailor Moon? How many of you guys know Dragon Ball Z? Now here comes the tricky part. How many of you guys know Wedding Peach? You liar.
No, I am actually.
Okay. Pre-tier.
What?
Yellow.
Pre-tier. The Legend of Snow White. Damn it. I'm trying to get something more obscure.
Ask for Pre-Cure. Nobody watches
As for
Pre-Cure.
Pullman.
I know more about pre-tier
Oh,
than pre-tier.
no, not that story where the singer actually falls for yokai.
For Pullman.
Yeah.
I watched that one back in high school. I love it.
Well, I'm shocked people know Wedding Peach. Oh my gosh. Let me try something else. Shh. Damn it! It's Urusei Yatsura. Okay, that's much better.
You mean Akira?
No, Urusei Yatsura.
It was a work by Rumiko Takahashi, the creator of Inuyasha. It was like her first ever work.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it! You big mouth.
Some of these names are terrible. Like, you can't remember the names, but you can remember the animes.
Yeah. All right. Let's try something else. Why don't you name an anime I probably won't be familiar with?
Can I look
Don't
at
you
my
review
anime list
anime?
really quick?
What?
Can I look at my anime list?
No cheating.
Hitman Reborn.
Really? That's the best you can do?
Yeah.
Anime is pretty mainstream these days.
Yeah, it's like,
It is what it
it's pretty
is.
mainstream, bro.
How about Cypher?
Yeah.
Damn it! What is that about? What's Cypher about?
I just watched like one episode of it though.
It's basically, it's supposed to be like an anime that takes place in the US and you have to figure out who's the twin.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Mapletown?
I have no idea.
Good, thank you. Nobody knows what Mapletown is, thank gosh.
Wait, what?
Mapletown.
Sounds vague.
It's a show that appeared briefly on Nickelodeon. It's basically about cutesy series about furry animal creatures living in a utopian town. Mapletown.
I've heard of it.
Yes.
I've heard of it. I never watched it.
Avatar's an American animation though.
I said to pick an anime series I probably won't be familiar with.
Ghost Hunt.
Say that again?
Ghost Hunt?
Oh, I've actually heard of it.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it too, but like I said, it's one of those Central Park Media kind of things.
The Perfect Insider?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Ultra Fighter Go Kaiser.
Go Guys is familiar too. Someone familiar too. Like nobody knows the one of the manga series I read. I do know Ojo-sama, Duck Prince.
Oh, dude, yeah, I love that.
It's pretty twisted, don't you think?
Ah, yeah.
Like especially at the end of volume 2. Oh my gosh. It's like I was tracking down to find the rest of the series, and I watched it all, and for those who don't know what Duck Prince is basically this nerdy boy got into an accident and turns into like a Bishonen, boo, and then he tries to win the heart of his crush, but she has eyes for someone else, and of course people are starting to get jealous of it to the point that one of the sisters actually falls for her. Yeah. No joke. Look it up. I'm not kidding. Oh yeah, so let's move on with like the part where we have to host the anime review. Of course, one of the more love it or hate it kind of people on the YouTube thing. So a lot of people have questions about the subscriber counts and the audience. Let me tell you one thing: just ignore the audience and the subscriber count, because sometimes it doesn't count. Because I've known people who get intimidated by not seeing millions and millions of views on there, or not getting much subscribers. So don't get too intimidated by that. Like just if you just keep it consistent on doing anime reviews or anything in particular, you'll probably get it there. But your best bet is to try to work with like the local crowd of some sort. Because I've known people who didn't realize they're anime reviewers until they told the local guys like, hey, did you know my guy actually does anime reviews? It's like, I was like, oh cool, let me took him up, and yeah, you get subscriptions that way. So I don't know and don't bother asking me about how the algorithm works, because even I'm still confused. Because originally it was supposed to be short bits under a minute that gets the audience, but not anymore.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Actually, I can help with that because I know a lot about it. Like basically, it's just shit that's like pretty much if you keep people on the site for longer, like okay, stop me if this gets like if I start speaking in gibberish. Okay, when you start a video, like for example, I'm watching your channel in this scenario. I'm watching your channel and I watch a video that starts the first play session, and then of course watching that video. In your recommendations, you'll get more videos from this guy. It could be videos from like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, even 5 minutes ago. But then, if you watch enough of this guy's videos, he'll start recommending you people that are similar to his type of content. And then that's how you start curating more people, because that's how, and then, of course, the more you watch, the more the session goes. And the longer the session is, YouTube will start to promote your shit more, and if it's up to a high enough quality, it'll actually start to file itself into other people's tags And I know everyone on YouTube says, oh, don't worry about the tags. No, you kind of should. At least not like super much. But like it'll start to file itself into other people's tags, even if you didn't do it. And like, and that's how you kind of grow and you get to suggested videos or sidebar videos. And like, yeah, so like, just basically like, basically what I'm getting at is like, if you can make your video like a good enough size where you can talk about something without having to pad it out for time, then yeah, then your numbers should be pretty okay. And like, but also, yeah, don't pad your shit out for time, because if you do, that will drop your audience viewing rate, and YouTube will push it less, because well, why would YouTube push a video of 18s, you know, bad? So, but yeah, that's it. It's a lot easier than I'm making it sound. But yeah.
Yeah, so that reminds me about the tags. If you the thing is about tags is that yeah, it's important, but don't go like overloaded on it. And please, for the love of gosh, don't clickbait, because they will find out and you probably will get suspended for that. Like in other words, if you're going to be talking about Sailor Moon, but it's not even about Sailor Moon, but Sailor on the Moon or some sort, they will get you for that. But speaking of which, how many of you guys have to deal with the dreaded copyright issues and everything?
I don't, because I draw everything.
Oh gosh. So yeah, this new ongoing phenomenon that people are striking down reviews hard because they're using the copyrighted material, even though technically it's fair use. But sometimes some people don't even know how to use fair use properly of some sort. And even if you did know how to use it fair use properly, you will still get struck down because they don't like bad reviews or any reviews whatsoever. And what's more is that people stop using certain clips and certain music because of that. Anything you want to add about that too?
Oh yeah, I can help. Because what you can do is you can make a border for your YouTube video. The dimensions for a YouTube video for your Photoshop program or your art program is 1920 by 1080, and you can like make a border for it, cut a little bit out, and then stretch it over in your editing timeline, and then that would be so the video can play and the border's over it. So when YouTube looks over it, it's like, oh okay, there's nothing. You're not stealing anything, even though you weren't in the first place. But yeah, that's how people like Pan Pizza. I don't know if you'll watch his cartoon reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Lauderdale also does something like that. And a bunch of other people do shit like that, where like, or you can just put something like a little like circle or something in the corner, because really it's only I think it's 20% counts as fair use. So if you have like a little like recording circle or something in the corner, or like a little play thing. Just something enough where it makes it just different enough, so that way YouTube isn't like, why are you re-uploading this episode even though it's only 10 seconds? But yeah, and like shit like that. Or like if you just, and also if YouTube says like, oh, this is copyright, you can dispute it, but just fair warning though, if you do, you are basically doxing yourself to these people, because you have to give them your full legal name and your address and all your other legal stuff, because it's, so like, if if you feel it's important enough where it's like, no, I kind of did do like, since I draw everything, if someone tried to claim me, it's like, obviously it's not copyright, because I, drew everything myself, so obviously it's not. But yeah, stuff like that, I would just do something like that. It's really simple actually, but yeah, totally.
It more comes down to just YouTube mismanaging the
Yeah.
system, and until it's fixed, they're gonna keep abusing it.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of streamers do that too. Alina or whatever her name is, she says she just copyrights her things just because she makes money off of it.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Just there.
Yeah, that's a shame, because like I said, it's that even some companies who don't even know who actually struck down their own company themselves because they didn't realize it's their own company who
Nintendo's really bad on that too.
Yeah, Nintendo, Bandai is bad at that too. Sony is really bad at that too, given how they got Crunchyroll recently.
I think Nintendo like got copyright struck on its own official channel because
Yes.
it had like a Smash Brothers trailer or something. So it's like it's a hell world.
Yeah. like I said, your best bet is to do like still images of some sort. You could usually get away with just using still images of some sort. But some people don't really like that. They really want to use the clips of some sort. But if you do insist on it, give it a suggestion of some sort, or keep it like at least 5 seconds of some sort. That should be fine. But that's the reality of the YouTube industry. I mean, if there's actually a new platform and it's much better than it, and people will flock into it without a doubt. I've known 10 years ago that Blip was the thing to go, and that's where all the reviewers were at that time until it shut down in 2015 or was it 2016?
It was a while ago. Yeah, it was like 2014. It used to do that because the problem with Clip was it was terribly optimized because you couldn't do what YouTube did, and where you could just search up a creator and just like, oh, I want to watch some guy talk about some game. You couldn't do shit like that. It was very much like you had to be like a front page person. It was another entire different hell world. But yes, it was good for copyright because that's where people would go, and because they didn't care about it because that was before the modern era of online stuff came, and yeah.
And now we're 20 minutes in. Is there any other things you would like to hear about, or anything you want to know? Yes.
What would be the best way to keep a viewer or your audience engaged? Because I know, for example, when the Anime Man did reviews, or when he does his monthly seasonal animes coming up, he does it in a joking, sarcastic way, while Gigok does more. He doesn't really show his face as much and does more editing and out there jokes for it.
Yeah, so like I said, a few things is that just keep consistency with the schedule and everything, and also if you like to go to events like these or do publicity stunts, and that's another way to go. I mean, like I said, you could build an audience from there as well. Which is what I'm here doing right now. Anything you want to add, dude?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm taking over your panel.
No, that's fine. I mean, this is supposed to help other reviewers.
What you can do is basically find a style of I guess examples for comedy or style of writing that works for how you personally are. Because I tried doing the whole YouTuber voice thing, the Anime Man thing where he talks in the YouTuber voice. I tried it, it sounded terrible. That's why since I speak in kind of a dry sense, I use very much dry comedy, and and also what you can do is literally a lot of the stuff is really just simple stuff. If you want to, what happens is when someone watches a video, their eyes kind of get tired. Have you ever watched something and your eyes kind of glaze over because it's kind of the same thing? What you can do is literally just in your editing program, make a small cut to the side, and that renews the freshness of the clip. So if you're if you're standing right here, literally you can make a camera cut to where you're right here, and then that shows motion and that creates interest to what you're talking about. Yeah, I know it blew my mind when shit like that happened. Or you can cut to a different place. If you're recording in your room or something, you can have one at your desk, and then when you're done talking about the clip, you can come back to your FaceTime. You could be sitting on your couch or something, or on your bed or something, or in another part of your room or in a different part of your desk. Connor, C-Dog, he does this too, where he'll be here, and then the next clip he'll be right there. It's it's really simple shit, and because and it takes 2 seconds to do in an editing program. But yeah, and that renews the visual interest, and then and also just kind of don't talk too long about something, and just shit like that. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, if you're comfortable going to these events, these live action events, that's your best bet to at least build an actual audience. Because oh my gosh, it's just such a fun experience where I actually done reviews here live at San Japan, and I also I just did a dating simulator just yesterday. That was fun as well. And probably one of my biggest moments I was in Anime Expo for one time in 2014 where I asked people to Disneyfy your anime. Make it as kid-friendly as possible. In other words, make Titans, make Attack on Titan Junior High. But like I said, I guess that we got like a few more minutes. So who wants to see some of the clips I did a few years ago? All right. Yes. Oh.
I was saying, yes.
I actually had a question.
Yes.
As far as like prepping for like a video or a review.
What's up?
What are some of good practices to do? Because I know some people are just like, oh, just write it up before, or like talk about points, or you just jump in head first. Like.
Yeah, you gotta make a script first. Don't improv. It's only focused on that's only like for more experienced people.
I tried doing that for the game review, and I butchered it. I had it scripted.
And like what's a really good optimized really efficient way is when you're watching it, keep like a notepad, or like if you're playing a game or something, keep a notepad or your phone next to you and like write down your thoughts as you're doing it, so that way they stay fresh and they're the most genuine thoughts you had. And then
That's a really good idea.
and so you don't get confused, write down like an episode number or like the chapter number of the game, or you can also if you're recording it, that's good too, because then you can write down the time code and you can feel okay, hour 35, this part of the cutscene was really good and I want to talk about that. Make a note of it. If you're not recording it, you can also just look up cutscene, for example, if you're doing Metal Gear, the first one, you can do Vulcan Raven boss fighting. Really cool. We'd like to talk about it, elaborate more on it later. And then you can write small little notes, and then keep those together. And then whenever you write your script, you already have all your notes there, so you just need to elaborate on those. And then that's really good. Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is what if EA bought Pokemon. That was back in 2014. Let's see. Where's the one I had? A reason back in doing stuff. Yes, here we go. This was me back in 2000. Oh. You can't hear that, right?
No
Damn
sound.
it. Trying to see how to help. Yeah, can you turn up the volume for that?
Well, connects to the
You start getting chores and don't stay there.
Oh, where's the sound system?
The sound system is over here, but it's not depending on how it's hooked up to this guy.
I should have brought the. I got this, don't worry.
I'll say you don't have a C to 3.5.
So, as I mentioned before, this is the.
Here, hold it to the mic.
Oh, do you have the 3.5 millimeter jack that I could connect to?
Not in here, but I have one. I have a USB-C to 3.5.
No, do you have just a 3.5 millimeter jack? I think that will work. Oh, okay. I got it.
I had to read it over it like a million times to like.
And that way you can enunciate better.
I've been editing those.
Damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to get the.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you got it.
You might attract someone looking for a quaint little.
It's like $10 to get 5 really nice cars from.
That's why mine is so shitty, because I had a couple.
That's what I'm saying, you go to Vistaprint, man. Like $10 and get like 500 minutes. Yeah.
Oh,
So if you have an audio selector on your phone.
I'm looking for it.
Appreciate it.
Hang on, I got it. Sorry, is there any questions before I'm trying to hook this up?
How do you prepare to do your review?
Make a script and everything, and then put bullet points and everything, and then make a conclusion and everything, and that's how you do that.
Do you follow the same template every time, or do you change?
It depends. Like I said, if you rather do a consistency basis, then you could do that.
Do you have any general advice for like an anime analysis?
In what way?
Like, well, I'm planning to do a Madoka Magica, like how to depict suffering in media.
If you're going to do a thesis, like I said, create a script on it, and then get all the bullet points. Because, like I said, people usually lose track if they
Okay.
Dang.
To be honest, man, I don't think we're gonna find out why anime has big boobs.
Yeah, I know. Hang on, I got it.
I don't think it's Team Rocket and Pokemon's fault though.
It's Team Rocket.
Now remember about the cross-dressing issue I had about James? Yeah. This is why it's the most messed up fault of all. Yeah. I'll let it sink in for quite a bit. Sexy that I know. I'm sexy for my shirt.
Yes. I know.
It's weird that James looks better
This episode is so infamous is that for kids, yeah, because it's for kids. And the problem is that even after they release the edited version, it still forever scars people's minds. Yeah. And now we're going to see the result on what phone. Because not only it affects the body images of people in the real world, it actually affects the people in the anime world. That's why we got something like overly and big boobs. That's why we have lost property and big boobs. How many guys want to see the next clip?
Yeah, just keep going.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We're trying on the road. Holy cow. This is what we've been down to.
Yeah, so like I said, I like apologize I wasn't able to get the clip, but that's one of the reviews I have done and everything. And so is there anything else before I wrap up for today? You want to add? All right. Well, that's how you host the anime review. I hope you have a great time. This is Andy Bishonen signing out.